Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So my name is Jason and I'm a prop trader. So if you've seen my recent video, I've just passed the phase 1 of the FTMO challenge and now looking to do phase 2, which is the verification. So my strategy on phase 1 was always to make sure that I got to the end of the month always in profit. And if I hit the 10%, fantastic. If I didn't, I'd always get that retest and carry on. But with the verification phase, you don't get that retest. You have to pass it at this attempt. So therefore I'm changing my thought process and strategy slightly, just to make sure that I can trade on a more consistent basis and get through and make sure I hit that 5% target in the 60 days. So a lot of people think that the verification phase is always a lot easier than the first part. Now, in some ways it is, because the profit objective is half and the time is double, but the reality is your mind starts to play tricks on you. It always looks forward and ahead to being funded and taking that first profit, which again is another month down the line. So thinking ahead too much beyond the actual finish line can really have a negative impact on the trading, and the psychology just gets messed up, and before you know it, you're into a drawdown and you're struggling to get out of that, and you've gone through 1, 2, 3 weeks and you think, okay, I'm now racing to get to the end, and people make a lot of rash decisions, and before you know it, you've blown that verification phase and you're going to start all the way back at phase 1 again. So I really believe that everything we do in trading, we need to have a plan and some strong objectives. Even if it's just looking at what we're doing on the day. So we get up in the morning, we have a plan and routine. So we're going to check the news, check the chart, see what's happening, see what's moving, and then structure our day around that, around what sessions are happening and what's going to be good for trading. And it's even the same in the long-term plan, not just looking at the daily and the weekly, looking at the 6 months and the year. What are our big objectives and targets to achieve, and what is the plan to get there? So as I said before, my plan this year is to get max funding with FTMO before moving on to other prop firms and hopefully get to that sort of $1 million funded trader. It almost seems like the utopia, and as we know, at $1 million funded, if you're making 1, 2, 3%, the returns are fantastic, and therefore you can always give up working full-time and just live off the trading returns. So what am I going to do differently on the verification phase? Well, I'm actually going to stick to all of the funded FTMO rules, and that's essentially not trading around their specific news items, as well as not holding over the weekend. Now, some people might think that's strange because you can do that in these phases, so why would you actually limit yourself? And also with the new swing accounts coming with FTMO, you can actually negate that and actually not worry about it. But those rules actually work well for me. So we look at non-farm payroll as an example, or interest rate announcements. I never trade them purely because the market movements are so unpredictable. Yes, they might be huge, but it's just a gamble. It's just an unknown risk that we can get into. You can be triggered into a trade and stopped out within minutes and not even get a chance to establish yourself. And it's the same for holding trades over the weekend. I like to close trades on a Friday evening and therefore not have the worry and stress of what could happen. Could there be a natural disaster? Could there be any new conflicts in the world? Could there be a major market shift and therefore markets gap and openly massively higher or lower and take us through our stops and therefore end up in a serious drawdown, or at worst case, breaching the 5% drawdown rule? And weekends are having fun, getting out in the world, having a great time, not worrying about what's going on in the news and stressing what could be happening in the markets and therefore affecting the open trades we have. So the only time I'll be looking at charts on the weekend is doing the forward analysis for the upcoming week, looking at where some key levels on the currency pairs or on the commodities, and just sort of planning the trades I might want to get into if the price comes to me. So I'm also looking to slow down my trading and actually do less trades, but better productive trades. In phase 1, I had a large number of trades, majority were winners. A lot of them ended up break even or small profits, but those small profits added up eventually to get the targets I needed. In this phase, I'm looking to risk 0.5% and always try and get a 2-to-1 reward to risk, and therefore I only need to make 5%, and therefore looking to only do it in 5 trades. Now the reality is that's not going to happen. There's going to be situations where price reverse gets stopped out, or price just literally comes back if I've moved the stop loss to break even and therefore take the trade out for a 0 profit. But because the time pressures are significantly less on this phase, I'm not going to rush it. I'm literally going to wait for price to come to me and not force the trades and try and make profit on a daily basis. Now, if there's 2-3 days in a row I don't trade, then fantastic. I don't have to trade every single day. As long as I hit the targets of 10 days in the 60-day period, no more than 5% drawdown per day, and no more than the max 10% loss. And my final thing for this part of the challenge is have fun, enjoy it, try not to stress about it so much. Now, we know that we're always looking to get funded, and therefore they've got that end date. For me, it's in September when the challenge will be up. but I'm not looking at that right now. All I'm looking at is just waiting for a trade, getting in there and enjoying it. The less stress I can have in my trading, the less stress I'm worrying about it, and therefore the trades are going to be more productive and just feel a lot more freer around the trading. So I believe if we can move some of the negativity around the trading and the stress, the profits will come a lot quicker. So it literally is stay calm and keep trading. Hope you've enjoyed my quick take on what I'm trying to do in this phase of the FTMO challenge. Let me know if your thoughts are similar or how you're getting on with your challenges. It's always good to get feedback on the videos as well. Speak to you again soon. Cheers.